Hi, this is Paul from Reliable POD, and this is a video on how to use our templates and create designs for our mobile phone case range. Before we go on to using the template, if I take you to the range of mobile phones that we offer, something that you need to take into account when you're creating your designs is the camera hole and the size of the cases. If you're creating designs for individual cases and just uploading your designs as you make them, you can design around the camera hole and for the size of the case. But when you're using the app and the app is generating your artwork for you, it has to scale the image upwards and downwards. So we've got a much smaller safe area to work with. With the best will in the world, when you're dealing with, say, an iPhone XS Max that's much bigger than an iPhone 5, and the camera holes over the years have changed substantially. The iPhones are not too bad because the camera holes tend to be in the left, but as you can see on the later models, the iPhone 12s, they're getting much bigger. When you take a look at the Samsung models, the worst case one, I think, is the Galaxy Samsung S9, and that camera hole comes quite a way down into your design. So you've got to be very careful when you're creating designs. If you don't want to lose an important critical piece of your design to the camera hole, it just won't look right. So I'll do my best to cover that in this video that we're doing. So when you're designing for the app, when you come into the product, you can download your template here, and your design needs to be 1000 by 1700 pixels, and it needs to be exactly that size. Can't be a pixel out or the app won't let you upload it. And it could be a JPEG or a PNG. So once you've downloaded the template, what you've got here is a safe zone. And this zone is taken from a range of phone cases. Uh, Anything you put into here will be printed on the back of the case. The red line on the outside, this is what goes down the edge of the phone case and wraps around it at the top, etc. So depending on what model phone case this is going on, for instance, if this was a iPhone 7, this part of the image here would probably be printed on the back. But if you go down to an iPhone 5, it's going to wrap some of that image round. So when you're creating designs, try to stay away from putting text right up to the edge of the phone case. The technology we use, which is state of the art, that wraps the image round, when you work into millimeters across 40 different phone models, it's extremely difficult. So keeping your images central here is very important. So another thing before I show you the design and how to do it is, if you look on our template here, if I just select this layer here, this is where your worst case camera hole will come down to, this point here. So if you're putting a portrait picture on there, say somebody's head, you don't want the head so that 3 or 4 of the phone cases, when you've generated the mock-ups through the app, will be missing a head. So I'll show you, here's a design that we did. It's just a simple pirate design. But when we drop that on there, if you lower the opacity that's on that layer, you'll be able to see when you come into the back that will print perfectly in the center. But what you also want to check is, you want to check that it's not going to get eaten into any camera hole. So I'll just drop that layer on there. You can see it's just off. So that will print perfectly on the phone case, and you won't lose any of your image to a camera hole or anything. But you might say to yourself, and quite rightly so, well, it looks a little bit bland there. One of the things I could suggest, and I'm not a graphic artist, so you'll have to excuse the design here, but when I put this layer on, creating generic patterns at the top and the bottom of phone cases is an extremely good way of doing things, because then that allows for the larger phone cases and the smaller phone cases, and your customers won't recognize if they've lost a couple of leaves over the edge. We get a lot of customers that try and put a logo, a company logo, right on the bottom line. And I'd advise against doing anything like that, because it does make it very, very difficult in the production process. So that's basically how you create a design. You will need to make it 1,000 pixels by 1,700 pixels for the app. And what that means is when you upload it, our software will automatically resize without stretching anything, keep the same aspect ratio, and it'll place that across every phone model. And it'll give you about 40 phone models to sell across your website. So hope that helps you understand how to create designs for phone cases and some of the pitfalls that you can steer away from. Thank you very much. Bye.